So MMA's best kept secret is out. That's right, we're going to show you exactly why Oktagon MMA have the most exciting fights, the biggest events, and the best fans on the planet. If you're an MMA fan, you can thank me later. This is Oktagon Hype. So welcome to Oktagon Hype. My name is Bryan Lacey, Oktagon's English commentator and now host of this magazine show that is going to come to you every 2 weeks. Now, the aim of this show is to do exactly what it says in the tin. I want to share with you one of the best kept secrets in mixed martial arts. So we're going to come to you every 2 weeks, and making me look and sound amazing is our producer, Mr. Josh GUDGEON. Hello, Josh.
Hey, Brian.
Hello, mate. Listen, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for you as well, because I'm going to take you on this journey alongside our fans, because right now people don't know what Oktagon are doing, and I want to share it with them. I want to share them the shows, the events, the promotion, the stories that they are telling about the fighters on their roster. And Josh, I'm dragging you on this journey with me, all right? You up for this?
Mate, drag me along.
You're gonna be dragged because it's unreal. For me, Josh, when I look at this as an event, as an MMA fan, when somebody told me, and I remember the first time I saw Oktagon, it was Oktagon 15. They sold out 20,000 seats, Vemola versus Attila Vey. And as a fan, I was like, why don't I know about this show? Why don't I know about the fighters in these big arenas? So from then onwards, I was a fan, Josh, and I need other people to be a fan, because the shows are amazing, the atmospheres, the crowds, and the fights are unbelievable. Look, I'm going to show you what they've done in just the last 2 months, Josh. All right. So these are the last two events they've done. First off, they did an underground event. So Oktagon Underground, where it's all stand-up fights in front of 20,000 people in Prague, right? They had Karlos Vémola boxing a rapper from Slovakia in Prague in front of 20,000 people. The crowd was unlike anything I've ever seen before. These events, the way they promote them, the way they tell the stories of the fighters, you don't just get a crowd full of, tattooed up meatheads. You get families coming to watch this. You get boyfriends and girlfriends, husbands and wives sat at these events. So the energy is just different.
You and I have been around the MMA scene for a little while in various capacities, and to see an event like that is absolutely unbelievable. Selling out arenas. That is
every month though, Josh. Every month they're doing it. And look at the smile. That's the smile I want on every one of your faces, because you're going to thank me once you've seen these shows and once you've got into Oktagon MMA. The other event, back at the start of June, Frankfurt, they moved to Germany for the first time, and they took an event to the Festhalle in Frankfurt. Now, there's never been an MMA event in Frankfurt, ever. They sold 10,000 tickets for this event. Look at the walkout for Christian Eklund on this.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Look how close the crowd are. Like you don't often see that either, do you?
Well, that's the thing when I'm telling you about the audiences, that there's no trouble. Literally, everybody, there's such a great atmosphere at these events. It's not tribal. It's not like we're with him, they're with that fighter, and you can't put them together. Everybody comes and enjoys the spectacle of the events. Now, that event for me was great because I was sat next to Frank Mir, legend, UFC two-time heavyweight champion Frank Mir, and we were sat at the back. We sat at the back because they had the German commentators by the cage. When Christian Eklund walked out for that event, every single person stood up on their feet. And now Frank has been around some of the biggest events in the world, being in some of the biggest fights in the world. He just looked at me, and I can't say exactly what he said because we'd have to bleep it. But let me just tell you, the look on his face said it all. He was in awe of the energy that crowd delivered. So people need to know about these events. They need to know just how good they are, the quality of the fights, the quality of the production.
So the production stands out a mile off, doesn't it? Like that is as professional as it gets.
It's glorious. It's glorious. I feel greedy. I feel greedy that I feel like I'm the only, because whenever I post stuff on about it as well, people are like, where is this? Yeah. Who is these? What are these shows? So this is what Oktagon Hype is going to do for you. We're going to bring you a show every 2 weeks. We're going to keep you up to date with the news, all the breaking fights that are going to be announced, the promotion. We're going to interview some of the biggest names, some of the biggest fighters from events, also on upcoming events, and we're going to give it to you. Give it to you, the people. So you can thank me later for that. So that's 2 events I've shown you. 2 events. Last Saturday, we were in Prague in a venue called Štvanice in the center of Prague. It's an open air arena. It's a tennis court usually. When you look at other sports, they've got moments in their calendar which are kind of like their signature events. You've got Wimbledon for tennis. You've got Monaco for the Grand Prix. The Super Bowl. That is how I would describe Štvanice for MMA fans in Oktagon, okay? Because the arena is unlike anything you've ever seen. Look, have a look at some of the highlights. These are some of the moments that they create in this arena. And
There's fireworks as well.
Fireworks as well. However, they might not legally be allowed to use fireworks, so that's another story. But again, that's down to the promoters. They've got this vision. Andre and Pavol have this vision about delivering the best experience that they could give to the fans, making moments, making memories with these events. And in Štvanice, they had not just the fights, they didn't just have the music, the atmosphere, the energy of the crowd, but they also put a halftime show on. So the halftime show had been a plan that they'd wanted to do for a long time. They wanted to make it like the Super Bowl, just as I described. They brought a band in. They've kind of got this affiliation with the song Stars with Coldplay, and they used this band in the halftime show. And I wasn't sure how it was going to work. Like MMA then cut to this band, but no one left their seats. Everybody was on their feet. The energy, just the just the excitement that was created by that one moment. And again, it just sums up how they do things differently. Look at the shows. Look at the quality of the promotions. Look at how they tell the stories of the fighters, and that for me is the basis of why they're getting so big.
I've got goosebumps. I'm hyped. Bring it on. Show me some fighting. I need to see that.
We're going to show you some fighting, but like I said, me giving you this energy and telling you how it feels to be part of it is one thing. The other thing we could do is speak to somebody who was instrumental in actually building this. So we're going to speak to one half of the dynamic duo that are Andre and Pavol. We're going to speak to Pavol Neruda now. So welcome one half of the dream team, Pavol Neruda. Thank you, sir, for joining me on the first episode of Oktagon Hype. This is all your fault, my friend.
Yeah, I'm right.
Look, so far I've shown the people just the last 3 events. So, and I say just, we had 20,000 people in Prague. Then you went to Germany for some crazy reason and sold out the Festhall for the first time. Any promotion, any event has ever done that. And we've just come off the back of the most beautiful, the most iconic event, and emotional as well. This one felt super emotional. The Štvanice Oktagon 34. Is there ever a moment, Pavol, where you kind of stop, you take a big deep breath, and thinking back to 2016 when this didn't even exist, that you kind of go, what have I created? What have we done?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Really, like it's like kid dream, becoming true. Like really, like even this is even bigger. Like my dream was to make it big in Czechia and Slovakia, to really make it like super popular, through whole society, popular, kids, old people, man, female, everyone. And yeah, it's happening now, and it's amazing, really. Actually, but these plans, like going abroad, it's something super new. Like the Frankfurt, it's still, I need to touch myself.
Pinch yourself.
Yeah. And last tournament in Štvanice, it was just amazing. Like usually after the event, next day I'm super tired, like totally dead. But this time I was still like excited. Oh my God, these videos and posting, and yeah.
And the reaction as well. The reaction, because I spent the night in the airport waiting to fly home, but I looked at the social media and everybody was just buzzing. And this is what I've tried to describe to people. When I talk to people about Oktagon, it's not just the event. It's not just the fights. You create moments, you create memories, you create these emotional things that people are part of, right? This is the thing. Oktagon isn't just a fight card that disappears. The fans are so invested, and it really comes through. And when you come off the back of an event like Oktagon 34 and you get all those messages and you see the pictures and you see the reaction, you can feel that, right?
Yeah, totally. I also saw it on social media and everywhere. And that's the point. Like this is, I would say, me and Andre, like we are kind of also artists in some way. And this is what we like to do, like to make it interesting, different, and beautiful. Because if it is like that, then people will come. It attracts. It's like, nice flower for bee. Like it will come, and we are super happy if these bees are coming. Like to see people happy, excited. That's the most rewarding feeling, and that's, I think, why we are doing it always somehow different. Like the circus thing. or this fireworks or whatever is in front of us.
Yeah, or a Karlos Vémola walkout. That's or not even
Oh
walkout,
yeah.
a carry out, which we'll talk about in a bit. But look, you mentioned Andre Novotny. Now, this is for me one of the most exciting partnerships that I've seen because you've very different personalities, but you sync so well. How did it come about? How did you sort of get into a business with each other? Because it's perfect. You balance each other out. You're so you're risk takers. You're willing to take chances to make things happen. And having two people like that steering the ship is something, like, for me, very inspirational to be part of and to watch.
Yeah, thank you for that, first of all. And yeah, it was like in ancient times of MMA in Czechoslovakia, which was year 2015. I was like, I come up with the idea and prepared pilot of Octagon Challenge of the TV show, and I had this idea to make it big and popular because I'm from Slovakia, and we are like Czechs and Slovaks, always brothers. We understand the language and everything. We're very, very close. So I always wanted to make it like Czechoslovakian thing, and I was the only one in whole Slovakia who was like trying to make popular MMA more popular through the videos, documentaries, and stories of the fighters. I was going with my camera, filming, editing, first documentaries, and I don't know, stuff like that. And the only person in Czechia was Ondřej, the same like me. Like he was plus commentating combat sports since '99, and I felt that this is the guy who has this common interest than me. Like he wants to promote it and make it like through whole part of society popular. So that's why I called him through our friend. I met him and I said, hey, listen, I have this idea of TV show. Let's go together. I think it could work. And I think since then we are working together. I think it's amazing partnership. Also, actually, I don't know many like this. And we are very different, but the same vision. Many times we disagree with small details, but the ending vision, it's super, I would say, same. We have this big dream. We are not, we like money, of course. Everyone wants to be paid for his job and we want to be well paid, but that's not the first thing for us. For us, it's the most to make it beautiful and big and popular. And this is our biggest motivation. Like, yeah, so that's why we are always spending almost all over the company game. We spend it to special shows and fireworks and I don't know what halftime shows and Octagon Challenge Germany production and things like this. So I think this is the thing that why we are working together and why it works well.
When you are doing these events, I know that every event just keeps moving. So right now we're looking at September already. Then you've got October, and we're already advertising the December 30th show, Octagon 38, the circus. When you then have people like John Kavanagh, who walked out Lucia Pudilova, come to Octagon, walk her to the cage, look around. We all saw it, him look around at this audience, this unbelievable crowd on their feet. And then he comes to you, and this is something that you and Andre spoke to me about. He said that he's only ever felt the energy from a walkout like that with one other person. That person is Conor McGregor in Dublin. So when you hear somebody like that, and you talk about just trying to make it successful in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, when you have somebody who is a globally recognized name, like a stamp of approval, coming to you guys and apologizing, saying, I didn't know you guys were doing this. What does that feel like?
Oh, food, that's amazing. Like somehow we are still, I would say, staying humble because you don't want to like believe it cannot be like, come on, nobody else is doing it. We know, of course, and there's another big shows around the world, but yeah, somehow something is different, but we are mostly visiting our events, so we don't have much.
Do you buy tickets? Do you get free entry? I'm not sure.
So maybe we should go to another event, maybe to have this comparison. But yeah, it's amazing. It's a big like satisfaction feeling, I would say. But still, I trying to be like humble and not to, starting to think, okay, we are very good or something like that, because then we will stop to trying, to be the better and better all the time. So, but it's amazing. But I'm not trying to think about it much. I really appreciate that because I really respect John and his work. And like you said, everything about him. It's amazing. Hard to believe sometimes. Yeah.
Now let's talk quickly about the last event, Oktagon 34. That moment with Karlos Vémola, the walkout, his speech afterwards. You've got such a star in Karlos Vémola. You can see it just with the response he gets in social media. Everything he posts, you get hundreds of thousands of views on. And he's not somebody who just talks the talk. He walks the walk as well. You look at that walkout. Some people might look at that and go, well, who's this guy? But then you look at how he fights, what he did in the cage on Saturday night. How instrumental has he been, especially over the COVID time, as far as helping you keep this brand growing and being that big star that every promotion needs?
Yeah, it's like, exactly. This is what every promotion needs. Someone who is super interesting, like by how he expressed himself. And also he must fight really good. And this is the connection that we have in Karlos Vémola. And I think it's a good, and he found a good partner in us, like in Oktagon. Because when he was already a UFC fighter, actually he was released from UFC at the time, when we started to cooperate, and he had 3,000 followers on social media. I remember this like now, when he was a trainer in second season of Oktagon Challenge. And after time, now he's crazy. I don't know how much. He's really the biggest celebrity, sports celebrity in Czechia and Slovakia, like superstar. And yeah, this is especially during the COVID times when we struggled a lot, of course, because everything was changed. And it helped us a lot. Every tournament, when he was fighting in the numbers, it was like this. So he helped us survive, and I believe we helped him to survive. Like, it was perfect cooperation. Like we are super happy with Karlos, and as you said, like he is super dedicated to the sport, to what he's saying. He always delivered every promise that he made. Amazing guy. I think he's one of a kind, actually, really. When think at his wedding, like, come on, like, who can say 5 days before the wedding, if I will not win, I will not get married? And I know he will hold his word. So this is crazy. He's amazing guy, and his fights is even better.
I'm going to show people the promos for the next Oktagon 35 in Brno, and also looking forward to returning to Oktagon in Germany and Frankfurt, October 15th. They're two big events we're looking forward to. That's close in the future. Pavol, let's look deep into the future. What are the plans? Where are we going? If you kind of have a vision of in the next 3 years, 5 years, what do you want to achieve with Oktagon? Because this excites me to hear how you see it. Because when I sit back and I watch the level of production, the events, the fan base that you build, like you said, not your typical MMA audience, it's opening up a whole different realm of people that can get into this sport and understand what it is. How do you see it? Where do you see us in the next 3-5 years?
Oh yeah, I can't tell everything, but even for the next year, we are preparing like super big shows. If all plans will go as we plan, which, yeah, we will see, it will be huge, and we will make a big hole in the map of the MMA world next year with our plans, which I cannot release right now, but it's a big plans, and it's abroad of the Czechia and Slovakia. And for the next 3-5 years, we really want to work hard on the European market. Like, that's our area where we feel that we can make a big show, where we can really be big. We are not interested about the rest of the world right now. And I don't think we will be in the even far future. This is our home. We believe we understand the European market, and it's still very not popular here, MMA, as it should be, as it deserved. These new era gladiators, they deserve to be the biggest heroes, same as football players or Formula One drivers, and so on. And this is our mission, what we want to do, and this is our plan for the next years. So we want to make it big. We want to make it like, if there will be like, even let's say in UK or Spain or Germany. I mean, we want to make it like a celebration for whole country. Okay, right now, okay, this month it's in our country. Everyone wants to see. We make stories and hold this circus Oktagon, traveling from the country to country and make it big everywhere, and like burn this flame in viewers in all countries in Europe, or the most. So this is our mission, to make it really big, these stars, not just 100,000 followers on their Instagrams, but with millions, because I believe they deserve it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think still people don't recognize them properly.
Yeah, you said it, modern day gladiators, and they truly are. And honestly, the stuff that, and what caught my eye with Oktagon was the storytelling, was the production, the level, the platform you give. And I really hope that you and Andre sometimes step back, take a big deep breath, and realize what you've achieved so far, because the platform as it stands is phenomenal. The journey as it goes will be very exciting to be on. So Pavol, let's see what the next 3 years holds, my friend.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I would just like underline what you said. Like, for example, we had offers to sell it. The thing, almost every year someone will come, especially this year, like very, very like good guys with a lot of money come to us to talk about the selling and so on. We just didn't, because how we see it, we want to fulfill our dream, and it's still very far.
Please don't. Don't cash those chips, because we need you at the helm at 100%, you and Andre, without a doubt. So look, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to speak to Karlos Vémola very shortly. But Pavol Neruda, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And thank you for Oktagon, my man. We will speak to you soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
So look, enough talking. Let's get down to some fights, Josh. So Oktagon 34, that went down last Saturday. This Saturday just gone. Again, in the beautiful Štvanice arena in the middle of Prague, and there were some unbelievable fights. We had 12 fights scheduled. If every fight had run the distance, we would have been there till 3 in the morning. So we prayed for some finishes, and the MMA gods delivered. There's a few fights I just want to show you, some standout performances. So first up, we're going to look at the return of Legurski. Legurski from Poland, the first ever Oktagon lightweight champion. He took on the mighty Rooster Kohut, and what a fight this was. This was the co-main event. Unbelievable back and forth. Now, Legurski had said in his promos he was going to stand with the mighty Rooster. Now, the mighty Rooster Kohut is somebody who has multiple titles in Muay Thai. Everybody thought there's no way Legurski was going to do this, but Kohut fell for it. And Legurski very wisely mixed it up, got the takedowns, ended up taking the back in the third round of Kohut and getting the rear naked choke. For me, it was a really impressive performance because of just how dangerous the opponent was. So with that one fight, and especially that one finish, that has put him straight back in that title discussion, and maybe he will be the next guy to face Lozon Keita for that lightweight title. Next guy, Josh, I want to share with you is David Moon. Now listen, David Moon is one of the nicest guys on the planet. Close the cage door and he's an absolute beast. Now, he came over from Canada. Now, when you're coming for a fight, Josh, you want things easy, right? You want things as simple as possible. You don't want things like your passport running out before you get on the plane, do you, Josh?
Absolutely not.
You wouldn't want that, Josh.
You want
as a fighter,
sailing.
you want smooth sailing, right? David Moon got to the airport and his passport basically would have expired pretty much while he was in the air before he landed in Prague. So with 24 hours notice, he had to get a new passport. He had to start cutting weight in Canada. He flew over, and because he was on a different flight, he ended up in a middle seat, sat between two ladies who ate for the entire flight to make his way to Prague for this fight. Fair play, he made the flight, he made the weight, and he fought on Saturday night, and my God, what a performance. You look here, Josh, at the clips. His movement was unreal. His takedown defense was phenomenal, and then he manages to get the finish as well against Miguel Conrad, who is one of the best and most tenacious grapplers to come out of Prague. This is made so much more impressive when you talk to David Moon about his last fight. Last fight, he fought Mate Sanakidze and got absolutely dominated with the wrestling. So when I asked him about this fight, he said, look, I had a miserable camp. I had to go and wrestle with Olympic wrestlers in Canada. I had to go to TriStar Gym and pick all the big grapplers, the heavier weights. And from those miserable days on the mats, he put in a performance like that. Unreal.
What a finisher that was there.
Yeah. Unbelievable, right? Striking.
And with all that stuff that happened as well in the background, I think people underestimate how much fighters go through to even get to the cage. That's arguably harder in most cases than the actual fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially in that case.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes it even more impressive. And now he's put himself right back in there. That victory, for me, on top of everything that happened, unbelievable. Next up, DD Skvor, Daniel Skvor from Prague City. What a performance. This guy, Josh, was the first ever Czech fighter to fight for glory. He comes from that striking background. And when you look at this finish up against this Greek monster in Strompolis, it's unbelievable. Frames against the cage with his back against the cage and manages to get that knee connection to finish him in the first round. Nasty, absolutely disgusting and brilliant at the same time. What makes that even better, Josh, and I've sent you this clip as well, is if you look at him warming up backstage with Andre Reinder, his coach from Reinder's MMA, they are drilling that exact move that he gets the finish with.
That is my favourite thing. When you see that in MMA, when drillers make killers, don't they?
Drillers make killers, Josh. And the exact move, the frame, the circle, and the knee coming up, and that's how he gets the finish. Yeah, loved that. And that now takes him to a 5-fight win streak as well. Undoubtedly one of the most exciting fighters on the Oktagon roster. Now, speaking of exciting, and also speaking of Reinder's MMA, Filip Masček, who is one of the most well-travelled mixed martial artists to ever come out of the Czech Republic, fought on this card. Now, what excited me about this fight is he's fought the Finnish fighter, Mikael Selander. Between them, they have 28 submissions on their professional record, yeah? Now, that excited me because I thought what we're going to get is a grappling match, right? I'm going to see these guys go go to the ground, test each other's skills. I could not have been more wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. It was a striking masterclass from Filip Masček. Look at the replay. His movement was great. He's throwing jump knees. He's throwing hard punches, big combinations. And then, Josh, he finishes it up with a spinning heel kick, which you think would be enough. And when you look at the replay, honestly, referee, I think it was enough. But he ends up finishing him on the ground with an anaconda choke as well. That takes him to, I think, 24 finishes out of his 27 victories in pro MMA. I've shown you the venue. I've shown you the halftime show. I've shown you some killer finishes. I'm now going to show you one of the most dramatic walkouts I've ever witnessed in MMA from the biggest character, the biggest star in Oktagon. It's Karlos Vémola. Now, he walked out. I say walked out. He was carried out on a throne, right? He said, I am the king of Prague. And he entered wearing a robe, wearing a crown, fireworks going off as he made his way towards the cage. And as he made his way to take on Alexander Ilić for the light heavyweight title, has always wanted this light heavyweight title, has always said that is something that is missing from his legacy. And that night, Saturday night, Oktagon 34, he took on Alexander Ilić and he made that dream come true, Josh. Not just made impressive by the performance, and when you look at the highlights, the way he took him down, the absolute beating he put on the guy, and then finishing it with a head and arm triangle to get the victory. But on top of that, the build up to this fight was ridiculous. Unlike anything I've been part of before, Ilić had kind of gone on social media, asked for the fight, taunted Vemola, like made comments about the way he fight. The boxing fight he won. He watched it and he was sarcastic about the skills of Vemola and how scared he was. Then he posted another video, a video I'm not going to talk about, but one that took it a little bit too far. And then he got a response from Karlos Vémola. And Vemola said, I'm going to punish you in the cage. I'm going to punish you for every single word you've said. And he did exactly that.
That looks like an absolutely dominant performance. High crotch, picked him up, dumped him down, beat him up, and then head and arm triangle finish.
But the thing is with Karlos Vémola, this is his style, right? He throws the overhand right, he gets the takedown, he beats you up or he submits you. Everyone knows what Karlos Vémola is going to do. Everybody knows exactly what the game plan will be when he steps into that cage. Nobody can do a single thing about it.
Maybe he regrets his decision beforehand of awakening that beast then.
Listen, I'm sure he did. But for me, that moment, that walkout, that finish, and then he gave a speech afterwards, which again highlighted exactly what he wants next. And I'll let him do the talking. I'm going to play that speech because it's unreal what he's looking for next before the end of the year.
I don't choose opponents. There's one little fat boy at middleweight. He walks around with my belt. If he keeps it by end of the year, I will go and take it off him. And to prove I'm not choosing opponents, there's Oktagon in Germany. They got one very big boy over there. If the heavyweight title is vacant, I'm gonna go and take it. I don't choose anyone. And anyone saying I'm choosing opponents, they can fuck off.
So look at that. Claims the light heavyweight title in Prague in front of his hometown fans, calls out somebody in Germany, big boy in Germany, I think I know who he's talking about, for the heavyweight crown, also wants the middleweight title of Patrick Kinsale before the end of 2022, Josh. Now, this is a guy that a year ago was told he would never fight again. Had an elbow injury where the doctors did surgery and they said, you can't grapple, you certainly shouldn't strike, and mixed martial arts is a no. In the last 9 weeks, he's had 3 fights. He beat Marpo in boxing. He submitted a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in Frankfurt. And now he's just claimed the light heavyweight title in front of his fans. On top of that, he's called for the middleweight belt and the heavyweight belt to make him triple champ. Now, I don't know what 2022 holds, but I need more Vemola in my life. And with that said, let's speak to Karlos Vémola right now. So we welcome the champ. The champ is here, light heavyweight champion, newly crowned light heavyweight champion, Karlos Vémola, my friend. How does that feel?
It feels great. Feels great.
It was
it feels great, but at the same time, I've expected it all the time. I was just waiting for the opportunity. I knew it is gonna come sooner or later. You know what I mean? So yeah, it feels good.
It was good. It wasn't just good. It was spectacular, my friend, because that walkout, and I say walkout, you were carried to the cage on a throne in a cape, wearing a crown. I mean, who came up with that idea? Did you go to Andre and Pavol and say, look, this is what I want to do, or did they come to you?
No, well, obviously all comes from my head. I've been saying for years, I'm the king of Oktagon. And I got loads of haters who try to doubt it, but I made one mistake in last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I've lost 1 fight. Since then, I got streak about 17 wins, and in between them I lost 1. And I still got some doubters and haters, and I'm saying I'm the king of Oktagon, and I fought Štvanice. It's an amazing event. Now it's time to prove it. Now it's time to prove to everyone, I don't give a fuck, I'm the king. Right? I did steal the idea for Tyson Fury, but he's the inspiration for all of us. For anyone who wants to achieve anything in life, he's the pure inspiration and motivation. So I thought if Tyson Fury was so confident, he's the Gypsy King, he's the one and only, he's the legend, and walk out as a king, I will walk out as a king as well. And then I got even bigger reason to go and prove it in the cage. It's no good if you just walk out as a king and you don't perform as a king. And I think I did perform as a king because my opponent was tough, was hard, very good, but I didn't let him do anything in the fight, just demolished him.
What did you say to each other after the fight? I know you had a couple of interactions. You went to him, which I think says a lot about you as a champion as well. You went to him and then you shared some words. What was said?
Well, I said to him, because he did really use a bad trash talk. He said some bad things before the fight, which I really didn't appreciate. He got upset my wife, my kids, and everyone around me. And I went after fight up to him and I said, listen, now it's all over. The fight is over. Let's figure out everything's been said and done. And I appreciate he did say the same. He said, bro, it was just business. Fight is over. You beat me up. Let's get over it. That's it. Because with some opponents before, there's some little fat 77 kilos, calling himself a champion in middleweight, Kinsale. He was talking so much shit before the fight. Then I beat him every single round, properly beat him up, and then he's still talking shit after the fight. And he just can't take the loss. And Joker, he took it like a man. He knew I was the better man. Obviously, he's a warrior. He didn't think that before the fight. No ever fighter will accept he's not good enough to fight someone. We all warriors. We go and fight anyone, anywhere. But after the fight, if you lose, it's time to put your head down. And Joker did. So, yeah, it's all done. All bad words are forgotten. And now we're just going to concentrate on beating someone else, getting more belts, more titles. Just keep going to proving I'm the king of Oktagon.
You also hinted that you wanted the big boy in Germany as well. So you're looking not just for 1 more belt, but potentially 2, even before the end of the year.
I'll fight anyone. And if you don't believe it, I even go to heavyweight. I don't give a fuck. I will beat them all. I will beat them all. So yeah, I'm definitely not picking and choosing.
So let's just be clear as well, when you're talking about this heavyweight in Germany, is it Hatif Moel you're talking about? This guy that's undefeated for, well, not defeated for a very long time.
I don't care, anyone, but I believe he's the #1 man in Germany, and the event is going to be in Germany. So I always go for the strongest. I don't pick and choose. I believe he's the best man in the division. He's the heaviest guy. He's the scariest guy. It's not about. It's not always about the size of the dog. It depends how he bites, and I can fucking bite, you know. So bring it
With
on.
those beautiful teeth, my friend, you certainly can. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So. Yeah, bring it on. If people think I'm picking and choosing opponents, I cannot choose anyone worse than 120 kilos guy, heavyweight division killer, and I'm still gonna go for it. So how am I choosing opponent?
Something that always impresses me with you, and when I talk to teammates as well, whether I'm talking to Andre Reinders, whether I'm talking to Paul Ivans, whether I'm talking to people in and around your camp like the Petrashek or Jan Malak, who are there witnessing you train. There's all this stuff around you. You've got Vemola Land, you've got a TV show, you've got an amazing setup, you've got this social media presence. But every single one of them, when I talk to them about how you train or what it's like having you in camp, say there's no harder worker.
Hard work beats talent. Hard work beats talent. I keep saying that again and again. Keep working. So I cannot ease it up. I cannot train light and then lose the fight, and they're gonna think, well, Vemola is saying hard work beats talent, then he lose. It's all shit what he's saying now. I have to prove it every time. I have to prove them wrong. I have to keep going and keep going, and that's my motivation. And that's why I got all these animals around me as well, all the lions and crocodiles and everything. I could have a gardener or someone who's gonna look after them, right? But I don't. I do it all by myself, because there's one thing which I cannot leave. You know, like if I got mess in the kitchen or mess in the room, I can clean up tomorrow. Everything I can do tomorrow. There's some of these things you can do tomorrow. You cannot feed your lion tomorrow. You got to feed him today. If you don't feed him today, he will fucking eat you tomorrow. My crocodile is 400 kilos. And every night I get home, I will feed them. It don't matter how tired I am. I can have 3 or 4 training sessions. I cannot go sleep, because when I wake up in the morning, the lions will fucking eat me, right? So that keeps me busy. No one helps me with my animals every night. Don't matter if I get home midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. I go, I feed them, I give them fresh water, I clean up after them. I do it every day on a daily basis. So that's how I keep myself on toes, keep myself going.
2 last questions. First of all, the other fight that has been talked about and you faced off in Germany was against Stefan Putz. He will now face Milan Petrashek, one of your friends, your teammates. Putz put on the line when he said, talking about this fight with you, that it would be a battle for the name Terminator. Is that something you would do as well if you face off against each other?
Listen, that's not something he said, but he's putting online the name. It means fuck soul to him, because he's not a Terminator. I'm the Terminator. Everybody knows it. So it means the world to me. It means nothing to him. That's why he's putting it on the line. I got no problem put it on the line, but it's me putting everything against his nothing. So if he wants to put the name on the line, no problem at all, but put the wages on the line as well. That's something he fights for. He's only gonna fight me to get the wage. So if you're so serious and if you mean it about the name, I'll put the name on the line. But if that's your wages as well, right? Because the fighter who lose, if you got such a big talk, don't deserve nothing if you lose, right? So if he wants to put the money, and it's not about me being greedy, I can put his money to the charity, no problem at all. But I want him to bet something as well, because he's betting nothing. He knows he's not a Terminator. I'm the real Terminator. Everybody knows it. So yeah, I got no problem. Put the name. Longest is with the wages as well.
Oh my goodness!
So now we're talking. But but you know what's the problem? I was looking forward to this fight because I thought people will want to see 2 Terminators fighting, right? But who will wants to see 2 Terminators fighting after Melon destroys him? He's going with Petrashek now. He will destroy him, and then people will say, "Well, you fighting someone who already lost." So I don't know, you know. So let's see his fight in Germany first. Let him win first. I don't think he will, because Melon is an amazing fighter. I know sometimes he didn't perform in the fights, but he is the hardest guy in the gym. I promise you that. He's tough, he's strong, he's technical. I really can't see Putz. What is he going to pull out to beat him? I can't see it.
Unbelievable. Now, I'm going to let you go and organize this wedding. Final question, Karlos Vémola, the champ. What animal is next in Vemola land? What's the dream animal?
The dream animal is the elephant. The dream animal is the elephant. Don't laugh.
I love it because it will happen. It's you. It's Karlos Vémola. So I know when you just said it, there will be an elephant.
And it's only one reason, because people should set up big goals, right? And I haven't got many more. I've been the first guy from shaking UFC. I got middleweight title. Now I got light heavyweight title in Oktagon. I'm trying to hit for the heavyweight title. I got lions. I got lovely house. But to get the elephant, right? Obviously, I will need to get a bigger house. So and get a bigger house, I keep everyone happy. My kid's gonna be happy. My missus is gonna be happy. So people saying, "Why do you want elephant?" I said, because it's the biggest animal in the world. There cannot be anything more than elephant. So that's me finished with all my dreams and everything else. And I'm not a bad keeper of animals. I do always maximum, the biggest cages as I can and everything. So I will not buy elephant into the Vemola. So for me to buy elephant, first I need to buy a bigger house. And that's mean for me to smash up more people, beat more faces in, get more wages, get paid, get bigger house.
More belts.
More belts. My wife be happy, my kids be happy. So then we have more kids, more elephants, more lions and everything. So that's the ultimate goal, to get an elephant. Once I got elephant, I made it.
You made it already, champ. My goodness. Light heavyweight king, looking for that middleweight title and the heavyweight title. Karlos Vémola, an honor, a pleasure to speak to you. A genuine big honor in my life to call your fights as well. Phenomenal to be part of shows that you are there as well. My friend, good luck with the wedding. Congratulations to you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. Thank you, mate. See you later.
So Oktagon 34 was unbelievable, but we have Oktagon 35 and 36 coming up September and October. Let's have a little look at the promo for Oktagon 35 right now.
The Moravian capital of Brno is going to experience the biggest combat sports event in the history of the city. In September, Oktagon and its circus, accompanied by the biggest stars, will arrive in full force. The title fight for the middleweight championship belt is going to come with an earthquake. On one side of the cage, there will be an elite Czech fighter and reigning champion, Patrick Kinsel. And on the other, as challenger and former champion of 5 European organizations, Alex Lahore. There will also be Slovak stars. The attractive and already postponed bout between Karol Rysavy and František Fodor, Vojta Barborik and his debut in the lightweight division, the return of the bomber Radovan Uškrt and the megastar Gabor Beast Bararosh. And we'll also see the culmination of the reality show, Who Can Survive, Adam and Nathan, who have unfinished business with each other and will finally come face to face in the cage. Oktagon 35. Winning Group Arena, September 17th, Brno. Tickets available for purchase through Ticket Portal Network.
So Oktagon 35, that goes down September 17th. You can watch it on oktagon.tv with English commentary, German commentary, or Czechoslovakian commentary. Your choice, people. The main event of that fight will be Patrick Kinsel taking on Alex Lahore. Now, Josh, Alex Lahore, well known in UK and Europe because he was the former BAMMA champion, now taking on the Czech Republic's own Patrick Kinsel. Huge fight that. And if that wasn't enough for you, in October, we return to the Festhalle in Frankfurt. That's right, we're back in Germany with Oktagon 36. Let's check this promo out too.
Do Německa přinášíme tu nejlepší světovou zábavu. Hned na prvním turnaji jsme vyprodali ikonickou Festhalle, překonali německý rekord v MMA a pokračujeme dál. I tentokrát se můžete těšit na německou superstar a bývalého profi fotbalistu Christiana Eckerlina. Do akce nastoupí i elitní evropský borec a hrozba pro celý welter. David Zavada. Chybět nebude ani populární tank. Postrach těžké váhy Oktagonu Hatev Bosmoil. Příběh a mise pokračují. 15.10. Oktagon 36, Frankfurt. Lístky v prodeji na ticketmaster.de.
Oh my goodness, back in Frankfurt in the Festhall, and look at that fight card, Josh. Eklund versus De Oliveira, the rematch after the controversial end to that. The co-main event of that is a light heavyweight contender fight. Stefan Putz takes on Milos Petrušek. And if you are a fan of fighting, you need to check out this fighter, Christian Jungwirth. I'll just say his name, Christian Jungwirth. If you're a fan of fighting, you will love this guy. So that is Oktagon 35, September 17th. Oktagon 36, October 15th. You can watch it all from the comfort of your own homes, oktagon.tv. This show is going to come back every 2 weeks. We'll be interviewing some of the fighters from those upcoming fights, some of the biggest personalities in Oktagon to, again, give you the best kept secret in MMA. This is Oktagon Hype.